Hello viewers, welcome to the Editorial Analysis by Drishti IAS. In this section, we regularly take editorials from various newspapers and news portals for a better understanding of various issues happening in India and around the globe. In this section, we first try to link the editorial with our UPSC syllabus, then we go analytical in order to understand some key points and at last some important concepts. Dear viewers, we truly hope that you like this initiative taken by Drishti IAS and your feedbacks are important for us. So kindly feel free to give your important feedbacks in the comment section. So without any further delay, let's commence our session.
Dear viewer, this video is available in Hindi as well. If you wish to watch it, please visit our Hindi YouTube channel, Drishti IAS. For your convenience, the link for this video in Hindi has been provided in the description below.
Today's editorial is taken from The Hindu, published on 11th of November 2020. The title of today's editorial is Road Bumps. If we try to summarize today's editorial, we can say that the Finance Commission's roadmap is critical amid a standoff between the centre and the states. If we try to link today's editorial with our UPSC syllabus, we can link it with GS Paper 3 and primarily with the section that includes economic development. Some key points of today's editorial. On Monday, the 15th Finance Commission submitted its report with recommendations on the formula for sharing the divisible pool of tax revenue between the centre and the states for the next 5 years to the President. Now, on Monday, the 15th Finance Commission, they submitted its report and they shared a recommendation on a formula which actually said what should be the division of the tax revenues between the centre and the states. The panel proposed fiscal roadmap up to 2025-26 will only come into public domain once it is tabled in Parliament, if not in the winter session, at least before the Union Budget for 2021 is presented. It is expected that the Finance Commission's report will be presented before the Parliament during the winter session, and if it is not presented in the winter session, then definitely in the budget session of 2021-22. An action taken report would reveal the government's acceptance or rejection of the panel's prescription. When the 14th Finance Commission recommended a sharp increase in their take-home from 32% to 42% of the divisible pool of revenue and the centre accepted it, states had obvious cause to be upbeat. When the 14th Finance Commission came up with their recommendation, which said that the distribution of the revenue between the centre and the state should be increased from 32% to 42% to the states were definitely quite jubilant about this. However, their actual shares of total taxes mobbed up have turned out to be far lower as the centre deployed more cesses and surcharges to garner additional revenue in recent years. Now viewers, this is something with reference to what exactly is in the news, but it is quite important for us that we have to see what exactly are the recommendations of the report that is presented by the 15th Finance Commission. Now, we will talk about what exactly the Finance Commission has recommended. First of all, it is to be noticed that the Finance Commission has considered the 2011 population census along with forest cover, tax effort, area of the state and demographic performance to arrive at the state's share in the divisible pool of taxes. The total area of states, area under forest cover and income distance were also used by the Finance Commission to arrive at the tax sharing formula. So this is how they have actually made their decision. Now let's talk about what are the key recommendations. Now if we talk about the key recommendations, number one, the share of the tax revenue that the centre shares with state from 42% to 41%. It has been decreased down to 41%. Initially, it was 42%. Okay. Number two, the Commission has said that it intends to set up an expert group to initiate a non-lapsable fund for a defence expenditure as well. That means the Commission will definitely recommend a group. It will be an expert group and the work of that group will be to initiate a non-lapsable, that means whatever fund is allocated for defense expenditure, the entire fund is to be used. If we talk about the state-wise distribution, shares of the southern states except Tamil Nadu have fallen, and Karnataka can be seen as it is losing the most. Also, state shares of the states like Maharashtra, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, along with Tamil Nadu, all of which have fertility rates below the replacement level, have definitely slightly have increased. That means the share of the states like Maharashtra, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, they have actually observed a slight increase. On the other hand, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Karnataka, West Bengal shares have fallen, even though their fertility is also low. Now, what exactly is the reason for that? It will be known once everything comes into the public domain. Incidentally, Karnataka, the biggest loser in this entire process, has also had the highest tax gross state domestic production. Okay, gross state domestic production. Karnataka had the highest gross state domestic production ratio in 2017-2018, according to the RBI report on state finances. Now, some of the reasons why the criticism is actually being given on the report given by the 15th Finance Commission. Number one, the population parameter which is used by the Commission is actually criticized by almost each and every southern state. The previous Finance Commission, that is the 14th Finance Commission, used both the 1971, the thing which the previous Finance Commission did was they used the data from 1971 as well as 2011 population to calculate the state's share, and higher weightage was given to the population census of 1971. Okay, so some other aspects are also there, okay, and they will be known once everything comes into the public domain. So let's talk about what exactly is going on in the present. There are fresh reasons for the states to be anxious about Commission's revenue sharing recommendations, not in the least because if their recent standoff with the center on how their GST compensation dues will be paid this year. Now, in my previous video, I have already discussed about the standoff that is going on between various states and center. Now, center has actually come up with two ideas, and there are states which are saying, there are 22 states who have actually accepted the recommendation given by the central government. But the problem is with the remaining states. It actually says states like West Bengal, Kerala, Punjab, Telangana, Chhattisgarh, they have actually said to the center that they are not willing to accept the proposal which is given by the central government. While 22 states have now come on board with solution conjured up by the center, there are still loose ends as more dues pile up overlay next 2 years. Now, it should be noted that the GST compensation thing by the center was to be paid only till 2022. After that, the states will be on their own. Second, the center has tasked the Commission with assessment of a few unusual ideas, including the creation of a non-lapsable fund for defense, like I said, and security spending, and incentivizing states for performance on reforms considered desirable by the center, such as adoption of direct benefit transfer. Center has also come up with several other proposals, like I told you about a non-lapsable fund for defense expenditure. Also, it has recommended a group and a proposal that the central will be incentivizing the state governments on their performance as how much direct benefit transfer schemes is being provided to the needy ones. The states performing at better level definitely will be given some incentives from the central government. Now, the future ahead, the center can allay states further by tabling the report soon so that any anxieties can be debated and laid to rest. And states can also plan upcoming budget with less uncertainties. Now, the center, the best thing that it can do right now is it has to table the budget on the parliament as soon as possible, so that if there is any issue between the center and the states, or if the states have any issues regarding that, a proper channel of debate can be followed, and the states can actually plan, or you can say they can actually initiate such a budget which has got more and more preference for the people of that particular state. Being receptive to states' concern can help forge a fresh cohesive federal compact for the coming years, a double engine that can hasten India's return to higher growth. Now, it is to be noted that we are in a federal structure, and it should be noted that, if not proper federal, but definitely quasi-federal, it should be noted that the central government has to be very careful. Central government has to come up with such ideas so that the states are also happy with the initiatives that are taken. And the most important thing, if the central government really wants to maintain this federal structure, it is quite important for us that it should come up with such ideas which are beneficial both at the central level as well as for the states. This would only help India in returning to its again pattern of higher growth. So viewers, this was with today's editorial analysis. I hope you liked it. Thank you very much.